Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now today I'm going to have a go at the monthly club special from the Times Crossword Club. This is, I think without doubt, the hardest cryptic crossword published on it, certainly 15 by 15 with sort of ordinary clues anywhere. And it's proved popular in the past. I was thinking that the Times were being very mischievous about next month's Times Crossword Championship when they get to the one puzzle shootout, rather than having either an easy puzzle, which would be just a complete race between the three candidates on the podium, or a difficult puzzle, which I think was more likely to be expected. They could feature one of these club special type puzzles, which really go into the depths of the vocabulary and chambers and have very vicious clues. So anyway, we'll have a go at it. The video will probably take about half an hour based on past form. Full disclosure, I had a go at last month and crashed and burned about halfway through, so it could go worse than that. But let's have a look at it. I think they're set by the Times crossword editor Richard Rogan, who is in charge of the puzzles for the championship, so he might use it, you never know, or this style. Anyway, here we go. Here comes October's puzzle. I've chosen October's because if we finish, it should say so, if we finish correctly. Right, one across. Tablecloth expected to cover board for pontoon. I don't know what that's about. There's a few words for tablecloth or pontoon, I know. Two down. Boston's uncoordinated release includes hot record. Boston's uncoordinated, so there could be an American word for uncoordinated. Release, free, including hot can be H or maybe in. Record can be LP or EP. Or disc. Three down, long clue. Two kings Europe brought into New Zealand to support fish as extreme authoritarian emblem. Angle for fish and NZ for New Zealand. K and R can be kings. Europe can be E. That's going to be a crazy word. I bet the Z's in it. 10. Partridge nestling, not the second, caught by men. Men could be almost any kind of military abbreviation for a troop or OR, other ranks. Partridge. I don't know many partridge nestlings. 4 down. Swimmer's as almost having outer parts amputated by this piranha. Okay, Wimelmos. I'm trying to remove the outer parts of swimmer's as almost, but I don't think that works. As almost, Rulmos, no. Don't know where any of these clues are going yet. 5 down, forgetting answer, that can be the letter A. Omit puzzling with head like a sieve. There is a word for like a sieve based on some Latin. Omit puzzling. Leave. Odd. No idea. 6 down. Natural Rastafarian food. Giving virtually regular eliminations. Rastafarian food. Okra? 7. Salaryman's business card. One constitutes a greeting. This is tough. 8. Temperature within my gunge spread like spiced custard. Right. Anagram of my gunge with T for temperature in it. Looks like nutmeggy. Spiced, yes. Don't know what that's got to do with custard, but never mind. Now, 9 across. A U at the end. Groan maybe, endlessly interrupted by band on the road and loutish toff. What on earth is the word at the end of that? To? French or A-U? D-U? Just no. Ovu, maybe. Groan. Oh, Titus groan. Titus endlessly. T-I-T-U. Interrupted by band on the road. I mean, what on earth? It's probably T-I and T-U. But what on earth word is that for a loutish toff? I mean, hooray Henry, but what's the old version of a hooray Henry? Do not know. Briefly clash like sharks and jets, animatedly in music, over Snitch's spot. That's not a Harry Potter reference, is it? For the snitch. Briefly clash. Kiss. Like sharks and jets, animatedly in music. Right. 13 across. Their oil seal. Storing, which, I mean, there, because of the ... that might be a reference to the Saskatchewan in the clue before. Their oil. Seal storing 1 kilojoule, IKJ, surely, is getting dragged over snow. Ski joring. That is some sort of winter sport. Storing 1 kilojoule, so K-I-J. Ski joring on its own isn't long enough, but that's roughly what's going on here. Maybe there's a different spelling of sea joring. An O-ring is a seal. So, is it K-I-J there? Does 14 down begin with J? Yes, probably does. Blend of Dijon, so an anagram of Dijon, containing Tabasco water. Right for wildcat. Well, there's a jaguarundi, which can probably also be a jaguarundi. So agua is water in Tabasco, which is a place in Mexico, and right, yeah, that works. So how do we spell ski on the front of this? What's the oil? S-O? Is that? Esso is a Canadian oil brand, but British, I don't know. Forgetting answer, omit puzzle with head like a sieve. That speculative T is interesting there now. Just have a quick look at 7. Oh, this is the Japanese one. Salaryman's business card. 1 constitutes a greeting. What sort of card? Businessman could be CO. I don't know. Let's see if the southeast is more useful. Say could be e.g. landed gentry's ultimate in social justice, equality. Elit for landed, and gentry's ultimate is the letter Y. 15. Shrine of Rome's first priest as leading to wrath. Anger for wrath. Rome's first, and then priest is Eli. So it's some sort of religi. So reliqua, qua can be as. Ire can be wrath. Reliquaire, that looks like a possible word. Rumoured Irish to be excluded from mockery. Noised. Derision without IR for Irish, and rebound meaning backwards. And if something's rumoured, it's noised around. 27. French, demanding. Protection of wild fruit by departure. Quit? It can't begin with a Q, surely. 22, which does begin with a Q. Letter returned by post office in operations centre. PO in HQ, all backwards. Gives the ancient Greek or Hebrew letter, Kof. Hebrew, I think. 18. Kind type. Heart of Lysander. AN. Guarding house of Greek monsters. So I think that's Typhoeon, with Ho being the house. Type AN, the centre of Lysander, and Ho in it. Not really sure what Greek monster that is, but it has a kind of Greek feel about that word. French demanding. Exigeant? Exit. Protecting gene. Sorry, I'm typing over the letters there. It's that word, which is the French for exigent. And gene is kind of a wild rosehip or something. In exit. Overrun by infants, mostly. Check leather straps. Some sort of Latin plural, so AE at the end, but what's the check? Don't know. Vet? What are the instrument? Infants? Babes? Oh, look at that. This might be the longest clue ever. Hydraulic cement ingredient. Phosphorus unknown amount in very particular hard stuff made by Greeks from the East. Jeez. Hydraulic cement ingredient. Or no, probably the whole thing is a hard stuff made by Greeks from the East. No, from the East will be returning. I mean, how do you even approach that clue? Let's have a look at 23. Primate in gold coat, desiring to cycle, wearing fluttery boa. So an anagram of boa around the outside. Primate in gold coat. AU Mac. Desiring, that could be yen. To cycle means changing where the letters begin in there. That's just going to be some other crazy word. I mean, as have some of the words we put in already, but at least I knew them. 16. A round plate visible during an intermission. Probably a round is the definition. Then plate visible during an intermission. An entr'acte? That would fit. But I can't see why. 24. Indian corporal, related uprising across area. Okay, that's Naik, which is some sort of rank in an Indian army. Kin and A inside it. Scott's stupid amount of money to send fraudulent email. Spam? Spamming? Stupid amount of money. Oh, to fish. PHISH. That's to send fraudulent email. Oh, so some Scottish word for stupid that ends like that. And the first three letters are an amount of money. Sumfish. I think that is a word. I think there's a sumph for a simpleton. Extremes of zoophysiology. C red, short, part of skull. Well, that has surely to begin with ZY for the extremes of zoophysiology. C red, go mad, without short, so shortened. And zygoma, it certainly sounds like some bone in the skull or part of it. So the primate in gold coat, desiring. Where's the fluttery bow? It could be BA at the front. Bag. I don't know, but it could well begin with a B there. Let's try 16 down. That's the round plate, visible during an intermission. Sorry if you can hear that hammering outside my flat. That's annoying. 16. With annoyance. Earlier generation divided by new railway. looks like a fairly regular clue. Earlier generation, though, with annoyance. Yeah, divided by new. So it might end in RLY, which is one abbreviation for railway. Angrily or something? With annoyance earlier. Yeah, angrily. Age divided. Oh, sorry, I'm going in the wrong place there. So let's go across and angrily. I think that's right. It must be an old word for meaning with annoyance, and it's age divided by the letter N for new and then RLY for railway. So this round plate visible during an intermission. A round. Just don't know what that can be. 2 down. Boston's uncoordinated release includes hot record. Sorry, I'm looking at 2 down. I don't know what that is still. Oh, this Z in 20 across. I mean, kind of expected that. Hydraulic. So PZ backwards in very particular. Anal can mean very particular. Hard stuff. How could that be a P? Hard stuff made by Greeks from the East. Oh yes, mese? Put a P in there, something exemplana. Could 4 down end in a P? Swimmer's as almost having outer parts amputated by this piranha. 19. This A is very speculative. Overrun by, oh, check now ends in an H. And the leather straps. Wow. How can they end in HE? Goodness knows what language that comes from. Babes? Babies and check can be CH. So babiche for leather straps. It's possible. I mean, I'm confident actually. Primate in gold coat, desiring to celebrate. No, desiring to cycle, wearing fluttery boa. Well, surely. It could end in BO, arg. Gold coat. Desiring. Wishing, wanting, gold coat. I just don't know where that's going either. 6, we've looked at that earlier. Oh, yeah. 10, I don't think there's any clues I haven't looked at. Oh, that whale blubber from Jerks in Saskatchewan. Jerks. Spec. Yes, SK for Saskatchewan. PE, physical jerks for physical exercise. And spec is a word for whale blubber. Wow. So there is Saskatchewan again in this one, SK. So there must be an extra K in ski during. I reckon that's how it's spelt in this case. Although I've seen it without that K, but that will fit the clue. You've got 1 kilojoule in SK O-ring. that will work. I mean, it's a weird spelling, but it's possible. There are Swedish words beginning KJ, so that's really possible. Right, back to 2 down, ending PN. Boston's uncoordinated release. So the record is either EP or LP there. Uncoordinated. Release. So an H here. So probably HEP. I mean, how is that going to make a word though? And release around the outside. Unpin or something? Unfipin. That can hardly be a word meaning uncoordinated. The 2 kings could be KKE brought into New Zealand. NZ, could that be a Z? Yeah, Krentz. That could end a word. K and R, E, brought into New Zealand. Angelkrentz. Do you know, I think that might be something. 2 kings Europe brought into. It's not really brought into New Zealand. Brought into NZ supporting Angle. I think that's possible. So that gives us a double Z in 20 across. So Metse is possible again. Metse plana. That's more likely. I mean, that could work as a word. But it doesn't quite work for the... And I don't know if Metse is hard stuff anyway. It probably isn't. Let's have a look at these swimmers. As almost having outer parts amputated by this piranha. How am I meant to know a particular piranha type? Don't know. Partridge nestling, not the second, caught by men. Onager? No, I don't think so. 1 across, the tablecloth expected to cover board. Due to cover board for pontoon. Quite like due, D-U at the beginning and E at the end. What's the board for pontoon though? It could be UE at the end. But that U would be good for unshapen or something. Uncoordinated. That can hardly have an S second, can it? Partridge. Eric Partridge, a usager? Sage? No, that's nonsense. So, but 5 down could begin with an E. Forgetting answer, omit, puzzling. Ethmoid. Yes, anagram of omit and head without A. Ethmoid, I don't know where that came from. That is, yeah, well, it must be like a sieve, but I'm not going to claim I could remember that. Briefly clash, like sharks and jets, animatedly in music. I mean, I know they're the gangs from West Side Stories, but I don't think that's really helping over Snitch's spot. Let's go back to 1 across table. Oh gosh, yeah, this one. Tablecloth expected to cover board for pontoon. I mean, I just don't think I know that term from card games, probably. And if I don't know the tablecloth either, I don't really see how to make progress. Let's have a look at 6 across. That's Titus. Endlessly. Interrupted by band on the road. Is that a a reference to a physical band on the road, or is it an actual touring band? Can't be that. Loutish Toff. Tim. Oh dear, come on. Rastafarian food, giving virtually regular eliminations. Is there a typical Rastafarian food? A crew is a natural colour. No idea. Salaryman, some sort of Japanese word. Although it could be a greeting. Card. One constitutes a greeting. Trouble is, I don't really know how to break this open now, given that I just don't think I know the words that are being used. A round plate visible during an intermission. Plate visible. Let's try mezze plana. Let's assume I entered that. Have a look with the chambers. No, does not recognise that. Mezzo piano, but that's not good enough. 23. Oh, what's that? Primate in gold coat. Desiring. Wanting? Yes, wanting. Look at that. It is Baguantino. This is going to be right. I mean, it's wanting cycling. So the G goes to the front and then the rest of wanting is spelt normally. And that's wearing a fluttery boa. And somehow a Baguantino must be defined as a primate in a gold coat. Well, I mean, I want to look that up because that's just so fascinating. What does that mean? Baguantino. No, it's not here. Must be in the newer chambers. Or it could be Abguantino. That seems very unlikely as well. A round plate visible during an intermission. Visible. Don't think that can be a relevant word. A round plate visible. Tetsiplan. Now I'm going to have to just look up what these words are. Sorry, but there comes a point when, you know, one has to admit defeat. Pozzuolana. And how does this work? Let's see if we can work it out. Pozzuolana. So phosphorus is the P. Then it's Z for an unknown amount in very particular hard stuff made by Greeks. Anal ouzo from the east, reverting. And pozzuolana must literally be an ingredient of hydraulic cement. Incredible. So, what about that? Maybe that isn't a B, but let's see what we get. Applause or appraise. Around is applause. So this is actually Abguantino. I mean, was that in chambers and I didn't realise? ABGW. No. Oh, Anguantibo then. Wanting is cycling even more. That'll work. Oh my God, what a word. Okay. Angwan, there it is. A small golden brown tailless West African lemur. I did not know that. So applause for 16 down, around is the definition. And PL for plate is visible during a pause. Craziness. Okay, so 4 down ends in an O now, which I wasn't expecting, but I don't think I'm going to know that piranha either. So now I'm using aids. Let's see how we get on. Serra salmo, which must mean some sort of swordy salmon, so that's appropriate for a piranha. It's just a hidden. Look at that. It's out. Let me just delete a letter so that the clue comes up again in bold. It's hidden in swimmer's as almost. Wow, I didn't think to look there. It's brilliant when a hidden is that difficult. So this tablecloth expected to cover board for pontoon. Still don't know, but let's find out what the possibilities are for that. Tonishta? Couldn't be that. Oh, maybe Angelkrantz is wrong. It is. Oh, that's annoying. I've been quite confident about that one. Oh, Lord. Well, I mean, I don't even know where to go from that then. 10, partridge nestling. Just no idea. Let's have a look and see if that pattern fits anything. No. No clue. Saucepan, brine pan, or thole pin. Don't know what's going on there either. So, 11. Briefly clash. Don't know what's happening here either. This is so difficult. I'm not getting anything from rum blossom. What on earth is that? Rum blossom, is that really it? No, ram. Is to briefly clash, surely. Like sharks and jets. Let's go back and see if there was a ram I'm not spotting. No. Don't know what that is. No, but the tiddly-too. What's that? Titire-too. I mean, what kind of nonsense word is that? So, band on the road is a tire. So cruel. 6 down. Natural Rastafarian food, giving virtually regular eliminations. ATFRA. I don't know what that is either. I mean, I would like to know what these final answers are. I mean, is Angelkrantz really wrong? It's hard to believe it, but let's check again on words ending in krantz. Krantz. I don't know. Kreutz? Kreutz. That does. Oh, Europe is EU. But where does the N go? Yeah, that'll be it. Must end in Kreutz. Very poor German knowledge from me. Obviously, Hakenkreuz. So hake is the fish, and then the N from New Zealand. Okay, I did not know that. What is a Hakenkreuz? Let's find out what sort of authoritarian emblem it is. The swastika. Well, let's guess that was guessable at that point. So how about duchesse? A chess must be a board for pontoon. And a duchesse must be a type of tablecloth. So we've got a K now in the nestling. Partridge. What sort of partridge? Not the second. Caught by men. Oh, I don't know. So let's look up words that fit this ridiculous pattern here. Underpin would fit, I suppose. Unheppen. So hep was a correct inclusion, I suppose. Unpen, including HEP. And unheppen. Let's see again what Chambers says. I mean, it's just unsolvable in my opinion, that. unhappen. Where is it? Clumsy. In Lincolnshire. Not in Boston, Massachusetts. In Boston, Lincolnshire. Magnificent. Okay, partridge nestling. Not the second shaker. This must be, mustn't it? Oh no, there are other words like chakor or something. Nestling. Oh my goodness. Caught by men. So, no, chukor, is that it? Yeah, look at that. Chukor, chukar, or chikor. An Indian partridge having light plumage with black markings. But which is it? Not the second chord, chick, without the second C, and then OR for the men. 11, briefly clash like sharks and jets. So I think this is ram something, but it didn't come up in T in my searcher. Don't know what that can be. Maybe it's not ram, maybe it is rum blossom. But what is that? Rum blossom, a pimple on the nose. Serious? A snitch is spot. So spot is the definition. Oh, rum blossom. Why is that like rumble is clash? So briefly is RUMBL. Like sharks and jets must be. Oh, did the sharks and jets rumble together? Maybe they used that word. Oh. Also must be animatedly in music. Oh no, mosso is animated music. Turned over. Oh, and then you get rum blossom. I don't quite know what snitch is doing in the clue. I bet it can mean the nose. I bet it can. Snitch, the nose, slang. Didn't know that either. Right. Natural Rastafarian food, giving virtually regular eliminations. Haven't really got a clue still. What's going to fit the pattern? Nothing. It'll, et al, and stole. What? No idea. Now, then salaryman's business card. Meishi or geishi. Is meishi a word? I think it probably is. In Japan, a calling or business card. Meishi. Me is high. One constitutes a greeting. My goodness. Okay, and what the heck was this natural Rastafarian food giving the word virtually regular eliminations? Well, I could have seen that. Ital. And there we go. Puzzle completed. What a monster. Needed lots of help with that towards the end. Ski-curing. Let's just check the spelling of that and see that I was right, that it doesn't need the second K. There it is. Ski-curing or ski-curing in Norwegian. Incredible. What a weird puzzle that is. I don't know why I like it, but I do. Thanks very much for watching me fail towards the end of that, and I hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic.